Ladies and gentlemen, it's your man Don Krypton. I am here with Uno Goat, aka Samuel Austin. He is coming up with his brand new book, The Gun Charge, and wow, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, turning a bad situation into something physical and something that can be a good example for the people. And I just want to say first and foremost that I am proud of you for doing this as
Thank
well.
you so much.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that. So let's get into questions about it. Right? Any questions from the audience? Not yet. Okay, cool. First off, Sam, give us a quick summary of The Gun Charge, because we're best friends and we didn't give each other our book first because we're like that. But what inspired you to write The Gun Charge?
Several keys. Of course, family. My wife, she was one of the encouragements to say, don't give up. Friends like you. And then the key point that pushed it was like I had to get this out to the world. It was losing a friend that was doing other ambitious things just like me and you. He never got a chance to push his stuff, like he was writing a comic book. So I said, let me go ahead and push something out on the death of his anniversary. And that was one of the things that was the reason why I had to push it, make sure this got out.
Absolutely understandable. That's what it's all about. That's literally what it's all about. Making sure that, putting something physical into the world, inspired by your own as well as other people's stuff. So that's great to hear, man. The title, The Gun Charge. Powerful. What does it hold in the story? What deeper meaning of just the title does this mean?
The whole exactly that. It's supposed to be captivating. It's supposed to be eye-catching. It's supposed to make you think, what is this about? Why would somebody write this? And again, it's exactly what you think. It's the gun charge. It's hitting that topic, the systematic system of getting a gun charge facing that situation.
Got you. But does it represent anything deeper? Is there more than just the legal part of it, or what emotions are tied to this?
For me, this book was me facing it personally. I got to see on my end as a black person, but also taking myself out of it, because that's the only way you can actually survive those moments without, being behind bars and not letting it get to you. Sometimes you have to take yourself out and look at the bigger picture and look at everybody that's in there also going through the same type of situation. And from rich to, Asian to different races, minorities, it didn't matter in that moment. Once you were behind those bars, you were nobody. You're nothing. You're next to lower than garbage, because even garbage looks fresher in that scenario when you're in there. The rats eat better than you. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's nowhere for you to sit down. And surprisingly, this isn't the holding cells. I didn't even make it to actually lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, so some of our precincts have the worst bars that you could ever be in.
Can't even, and that was just lockdown. That was
just the holding cell.
That's crazy. Can't even imagine. What kind of themes do you have in the book as well? Like, how are they important to you personally in order to get to the point of creating art, basically, about it?
So pretty much I did several variations when I thought about this book. How did I want the reader to follow the timeline? It goes from how it came to be. So it starts off with the introduction. Where was I at? What led up into me getting into this situation? Then it's the actual trial of the situation. What occurs while going through trial. A lot of people don't realize it's a lot of time spent going back and forth to court. Not like a few days. It's weeks, almost years before you even get to process that. And then it's the final result. What happened?
Nothing like a traffic ticket, I'm assuming.
Nothing. Even those is long, and especially when you get pulled over, those can be time consuming. So don't be late to work once you get pulled over.
Yeah, I get that. Let's see what else we got. So you chose this to be a young adult book. Why did you choose that specific audience in order to tell this story?
Speaking to the older heads and the OGs from my community and people that I respect as senior men, I realize that their stories don't get told, especially when they go in these situations. Their story is either told by somebody else, and by that time it's too late, and then they spend a life of not even, I don't want to say making up for it, but they trying to earn back something that they never lost or shouldn't have taken away from them because of a certain mistake. And then it's trying to prove that to those that don't even know them because somebody else said something about them. So it's written for that statement, and then it's also just for the youth that, hey, it's not really that hard. It's easy. You just gotta believe in yourself and go out there and do it.
And this is a positive thing, seeing what's going on after or during the process.
During the whole process. So everything. It's me opening up my heart and just saying, hey, this is what happened. I was doing this, and this is what happened. But don't think that changes anything about who I am. And that's what this is about.
Gotcha. And putting it on paper makes it, turns it literally into learn from other people's mistakes. So appreciate you again for taking that. Do we have a question from the audience?
Yes. What shape does this text take? Is it nonfiction? Is it poetry?
Actually, it's a little bit of it all. So I didn't want to put people's name in it, one, so I did a fake purpose, even though it's written by me, you know it's me, but I left names out because I don't want to get sued. And then also I didn't want other people to have that attention for the wrong attention. And then there's poetries in there. There's songs that I listened to that got me by, that I would use to even write my music. While I was writing a book, I would listen to these songs. When I broke down and cried, I would listen to these. I had songs that I think for like a good 3 months straight. Every morning I got up and I got in the shower and I would play Teddy, what's this guy name? Teddy Sluis, Lose Control. I would play that every morning as I shower. And I had also Friday with 2 Eyes, Mercy. Have Mercy on Me. One of the best songs I could say as far as a real person from the street that's trying to make it out and still, in communion with God.
Absolutely. What was along with that same question, what was the eureka moment where I have to put this on paper? What was your moment? What was that moment for you?
That brings up another good topic. Eric Baker, the person I was talking about that passed away, he started an anime group for minority youth to come together and talk about, they love the anime, where a lot of us didn't have that growing up. We were made fun of. We were joked about for the things that we love and now it's in, and we wanted that. We want that acknowledgement. So we started that group to, hey, we the ones that set the trend for all the ones that's coming up, like my sons, my little brother that's watching the animes that we love, and it became a brotherhood. So it's literally what he started. That was the whole ambition, and when he brought me into it, it was an idea we both kind of had, but the name that we fought for, I told him there were certain things that I wouldn't be a part of. Like I didn't want the cliche anime groups. I wanted something that was real, and it had to be certain criteria. He came back to me with Bro Kuza, and he had the name for it, which Bro is short for brothers, and Kuza in Swahili means to grow. So it's brothers growing together. And
Be on the lookout for Bro Kuza, y'all.
That when I met that young man, he touched my heart, both from Brooklyn, and he was somebody that how I am to you. he was that for me. So losing him was that fire behind me that says I'm not gonna let anything just crash and burn.
Got you. Inspiration is always the way to go, but once you got to the point where you were actually writing, what was your writing process like? Literally from first draft all the way to what we have now, what was that like for you?
Especially somebody with my mind, I am very finicky, and I got mental problems. I don't even want to say I got learning disabilities. And I'm Mr. Imperfect, but love perfection. I try to be on point. I want it to be real. So I wanted the people to see that when you read it, you're going to get the grammar imperfections, but you will see that it's somebody that took the time to get the words out. He picked the word that he wanted to convey to know that it's me, it's not robot. And then I did have some people, do a review check and make sure that it was actually readable and that people could get through it. So that was pretty much it. Just me just talking to God and myself.
Talking to God and yourself. So are you saying that these are personal and real life events, or is it just the story? Like how much of it is you and how much of it is for the world or from the world?
I think it's all me. It's all real life. It's all, you go out into the world, you're going to see what I'm saying. If you go through these situations, you're going to see what I'm saying, and now it helps hopefully get you prepared for something that I hope nobody would have to see. And unfortunately, it happens. That's the reality. No matter you don't want to or you try your hardest to support it, especially when you have the color of this, your target.
Very true, very true. So, of the characters in the gun charge, because you got to read it to see what the characters are. There's a little bit of spoiler alert. Of the characters that are in the gun charge, which one is your personal favorite?
Didn't get to mention his name too much, which he's actually going to be mentioned in the next book. I'm going to give a spoiler alert. My probation officer, DG, he's a good guy. He's a real good guy. He's another black man, sorry. And he's been supportive. He's another one that put the stamp on do it. I want to see it. He bought a few copies, and he's one of my favorite people in there.
Awesome. So now, a little bit of a curveball on the question. You gave us your favorite character. Which one is the most relatable character to you? Which one do you see yourself in
Oh,
most?
me, of course. I have to say myself. I mean, I ain't want to, toot my own horn and be like that. But yes, me myself, going through that story and giving brief moments is still not as, if you had to be there to actually see what I'm saying. But to see me or to know how I make friends and people that hold on to me, it's something that I learned is my magic. I may not be the most talented or the strongest person, but who I am is genuine, and I love that. And I got to save somebody's life. I made friends in there, which you'd be surprised. I'm a little guy, and you think everybody's gonna bully me. I had on Pradas, and I came out of there like a G.
Obviously, y'all don't know who this man is, but go ahead. All good, all good. So now that we've got the favorite characters and the things that you liked about it, was there anything, honestly, that caught you off guard? Were there any surprises in the book that we maybe should look out for, or things that you caught yourself?
The surprise is that when I was writing the book and as I was going, there was certain things in me that was like, can't leave this out. Like giving certain mentions and credits to my better half, the one that makes me who I am, my wife. Making sure that she got that recognition, and it still has to be in like each book, and it's still so much stuff that I have to give to her. But knowing that I had her to not only write in the book but also in real life to support me while I'm going through it and while I'm doing this, that was.
No, that's beautiful, actually. The inspiration literally comes from everywhere. So those people you got to shout out, the people who are, in the room with you, extremely, extremely important. And yeah, keep that in mind. So, something else. A dream casting of everybody in the book. Who would you cast as characters in your book as like movie stars?
Oh, jeez. Dang.
Let's just start with the lead role. Who would you cast in the lead role?
And so I gotta get somebody that's relatable. Like, it's relatable because it's but he also got I can't see him with dreads, but I'm gonna have to go with my boy Bow Wow. Like, we got the same height, you feel me? Got the same age grade. He got the funny look. It's funny, but he might get it off. We got the same silly side as far as the human looks.
I see how you got there. That's just acting, folks. We're only talking about acting. As a character, we can see that. As a person, we're not gonna go there. But
it's meant to be funny.
It's meant to be funny. No, it's all good. No, I see. Bow Wow grew up with braids.
Yeah, but I can't see him.
You can't see him with dreads?
I can see him with braids.
I'll leave you alone. We recording, right? We recording. All right, let's keep it going. All right. So, book has been out how long now?
Total of 76 days, I'm gonna say.
76 days. Awesome, beautiful. If you haven't gotten it yet, shame on you. However, what has been the feedback been like from people who have read the book or been a part of the process?
The reviews on Amazon have been great. The people that have read have been surprisingly well welcoming. They have given actual, real feedback saying, the grammar things, but other than that, everything has been nothing but good remarks. Gotten a lot of doors open. Started shaking hands with people, so it's did a little more than I expected. And everything is not always in the financial gain. That's the way I can best say it to anybody that's coming up and trying to do this. Your first attempt at something, you may not always see the success that you expect, but keep going. Never give up.
Absolutely. And of course, give a nice shout out to Bayonne Public Library for allowing us the space for this interview. Speaking of space, what's the one thing you want to take up space in people's minds? What is the lasting message you want people to get from the gun charge?
The biggest thing I want to say is, I'm going to steal from my anime, Naruto. Never give in, never give up, believe in yourself. There's no reason why not to make lemonade when you have lemons. Something comes out, you just got to turn it on, you just got to flip it. If it comes out this way, flip it over. It's as simple as that. Get back up and try again. And that's what this is about.
Absolutely. No, that's an important message in life that some people forget as they grow older. So once again, putting it in the young adult's mind, extremely important, and thank you for doing that. I guess the one thing you want to do now is reflect on the entire process. Is there anything you would have changed about from the beginning of you thinking about making this book or the inspiration for it, literally to now? What would you change?
I would not put the gun to work. No.
Well, okay.
That's
okay.
a joke.
We'll talk about that.
Changes, I don't know. I couldn't honestly say. I personally, I'm happy with it. It's something that's true for me. It's me. So it's my body of work, and I'm proud of it.
Listen, you can't say any more than that. Do we have another question from the audience?
Why Bow Wow and not Big Sean?
He light skinned. He's still light skinned. He caramel. But he closer to my complexion. But Big Sean, I feel like he's gonna be more expensive. He's still in. That's why I chose somebody I could probably afford. You feel me? Like he read the book, like I want to do that. Big Sean, like nah, I still need my bread.
Speaking of bread, obviously we don't want a real life part 2, but what do you think about a spin-off, a sequel, or just a second book in general? What are your thoughts on that?
So this is a book part of a series. So this is still a actual story being written and still going. So the next series is already starting being written. It's actually in paper. I can actually guess since you're here first and you're doing the first interview, I'll give you the spoiler now of the name. The next series and the title will be The Probation. So that's pretty much it's what happened. You read the book, you find out what happens, and what do I do next?
Another
And
experience.
then the third one, we'll talk about that.
All right, sounds like a plan. Another question from the audience?
What are you reading?
Oh, yeah, so I was actually going to flip that back over because this is my best friend. I'm reading a lot of things right now. Currently, honestly, I'm back in the Bible. I'm back in the Holy Bible. I'm reading Jehovah's Witness. That's what I grew up in, so I've been keeping, I'm not going to say I'm a heavy reader, all right? I've been reading comics. I'm heavy into anime, so it's a lot that I have to see visually. So I'm watching anime in Japanese, and then I have to watch it in English just so I can break down the voices and argue everything back with the group. Again, and then the spiritual is just me making sure that I'm strong enough to do everything. So I'm basically whatever anybody throws my way and just the Bible. But I also want to flip the script now because my best friend here, he also published a poetry book, so that is also something that I just finished reading as well.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a moment. A couple more questions. Anything that there's not in the book that you would still give as advice to young adults who read this, or young adults who are on either the wrong path or in that process already? What are your words to them?
Open your heart. I mean, especially in those motions, those times when you're going through something and life is hard. Don't close yourself off to the world. You never know who can come in and just make you feel better and give you that heartful feeling that you need to keep going on, or that fuel or fire that you need to, take the next move or just make a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Samuel Austin, the author of The Gun Charge. You can find him at UnoGoat on Instagram. Where else can we find The Gun Charge other than coming to you personally?
It's on Amazon.com, and I think it's on all of the platforms of Amazon. It's also a PDF form on, what's the bookstore? Kindle? So it's on Kindle as well.
All the major platforms. All you got to do is Google it at this point. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one time for The Gun Charge. Samuel Austin, thank you again.
Thank you.